You're live. Okay. Yay.
Hey. Yeah.
We'll wait for people to hop on. I hope the connection's okay. Otherwise, it'll be like staticky on their end.
All right.
And then they'll hear like every few words. So we'll wait for someone to hop on and see.
They can let us know.
Yeah. They'll let us know. And then we could always. Hey, Britt. Can you guys hear us okay? We can't tell if the connection's okay because we're sitting outside if you can't tell. Are we good? Hi.
I can actually see
great.
the screen today.
Adam got contacts and we should have put that in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You want to tell them about your first eye exam in 20 years?
No, we'll talk about the vision on another day. That's a whole separate
video for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was curious, we'll talk about this on another day, but I was also curious while you were in there, what it was like to be dealing with people who were actually, not to be cruel, but like nice and wanted to be helping you versus being met with adversity and kind of like nasty people when you did in prison. But I think that maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Let's talk about that tomorrow.
So before we get started, can I eat? Oh, okay. I'm not going to get distracted. We're not going to watch the comments right now, but, some people were emailing me on the side and saying that they were unsubscribed. It's a YouTube thing. It's been happening for a long time. So you just have to check. So if you want, we're going to try to do this every single day. We don't know exactly what time, working around my work schedule and Adam's appointments and all that stuff. So make sure that you're still subscribed. And if you want a notification to your phone, just click the little bell. And then when you click the bell, there's a drop down and you want to click all. And that hopefully will help resolve the problem. It's not 100%. We got a super chat from G-Man. I was just telling Adam about you, G-Man. It says, welcome home, can't stay long, but glad to see this. Aw, that was who I was telling you. He's in Canada. He was in the army, a cop, pro inmate, wants to give you a tattoo.
Yeah. Well, it took, 20 years, one tattoo in 20 years, but I'm in a different position now. I think I'm open to that.
We do love G-Man. They were asking to see your tattoo. Oh, Jess, is that our Jess? No. You want to talk about cooking for the first time?
Yeah, definitely. Can we show them the photos too?
Are they on your phone?
They're on my phone.
Yeah, then we can.
All right. Well, today was the first chance that I had to really cook on a gas stove, and it might look like, and it was kind of impromptu. We were running a little late on lunch, and she was working, so I offered to throw something together. And I have never cooked, what was it, the tofu? What is it?
Oh yeah, tofu. You made me tofu. I don't eat meat.
I cooked half a package of tofu, but I started out with a bunch of vegetables, diced them up, threw them in the pan. We got a big iron skillet, which was really cool to cook in, and having the gas stove. And like I said, that's something I've been thinking about for years. In prison, all you have is a microwave at best. I mean, well, there are other ways to cook, but that gets a little sketchy. I've seen guys scrape metal desks and create a little burner underneath, and cook on a piece of steel, make like Subway sandwiches.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done, but this was much more fun. And I was really looking forward to cooking for you because you've been spoiling me since I got out. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to, I cooked a steak for myself, but first I cooked, since she doesn't eat meat, I cooked the tofu. I put some peppers, some onions, some garlic, fried up the garlic in the pan with some olive oil.
So good.
I was hoping, I mean, it looked good. The pictures came out great.
You tasted it.
Yeah, no, it tasted great too, but I didn't know if it was going to taste great. Listen, it came out much better than I thought it was going to. And even the steak, I cooked the steak for myself too. Came out really, really good. Did some vegetables separately, grilled those up. Yeah, we came out here, sat down, got to enjoy lunch together, the two of us. And, it's not often you get to, just kick back in the middle of the day and have a nice leisurely lunch. And it was something that I've been dreaming about for a long time. I mean, you can see the view here. Look at this. This is idyllic, man.
It really is. It's like we're on a resort. Robin, thank you. Robin sent $50 super
Wow.
chat. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
So
that was the biggest thing. I mean, that was my big experience. And then, you know, obviously you had to get back to work. She went back to work, so I did the dishes real quick.
Oh my God, he's been spoiling the crap out of me.
Please. I mean, she's been spoiling me for years. This is the least I can do, something small, you know.
Stop it, right back at you.
So yeah, we're just enjoying ourselves today while working from home, trying to make the most of it. You know, quarantine's not so bad right now.
I don't think people understand my humor when I'm like, oh, we're so upset. It's the worst thing ever.
Terrible. It's
This
torture.
is the worst thing they could have done to us. We're joking. Look at this. It's been amazing. And it really, like, we were kind of annoyed by it in the beginning before the day that things were kind of like going nuts and we didn't know how it was going to go down or whatnot. And now, we were just saying last night, like literally everything has happened in such perfect timing. Thank you so much for that $49.99 super chat. Emma Lou, I think that is. But literally, like, everything has worked out so perfectly in perfect timing, exactly how it's meant to be. Everything.
Yeah. And, you know, for the rest of this day, things keep going this way. You know, we said yesterday that we were making it a priority, you know, to make sure we stay on top of each other's physical, mental health and well-being, keep each other balanced in this. So we said as soon as, you know, we're done with the video, we're going to go do another workout.
What are we doing today?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
My legs are fried from the last workout we did. It was good. I mean, to us, we're weirdos. To us, that's like the best thing ever. I'm like, my legs hurt so bad.
It's a
great.
good sore.
Hurts so good.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it again today.
Yeah, me too.
I was thinking
Can
about,
you go easy on my hamstrings?
I was thinking about putting you on my back, running down the
Where's
driveway.
my workout?
Well, you're going to carry me back, right?
Sure. No problem.
Maybe you can wheelbarrow.
Oh, that's
Carry me
cool.
that
Yeah,
way.
I love that.
See, this is how we do this on the fly. We're going to figure this out.
You know what we'll do, you guys? A workout video would be awesome. Okay. And also, that kind of like fun stuff, because I'm sure there will be a lot of fails. That's what makes it fun. We'll put them on our Instagram stories at Strong Prison Wives, so you can check them out there.
Yeah.
We're just kind of slow, too, getting back into everything.
Well, it's been a lot. I mean, we're definitely trying to juggle a lot of different things. I felt a little guilty today before I got to make lunch.
Why?
Because I had to steal you away to take me to go get an eye exam. I mean, that's the thing, just coming out. Obviously, I haven't been behind the wheel in 20 plus years. I don't foresee getting my license anytime soon. It's going to be a minute. So in the interim, you know, I need to figure out how to plan around your schedule and, you know, figure out how we're still going to get all the things done that we need to get done. So it's just one of the challenges.
Yeah, but that's how it's been in quarantine. Since I've been working in quarantine. I go to the store, I go to some appointments, I work. So, we're okay. Don't feel bad. I'm sorry I'm interrupting. People are saying I'm interrupting you again. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not.
That's how we are. Somebody said it the other day, and it's so true. We are so used to cramming everything we need to say in 15 minutes. We cut each other. Well, I cut you off all the
No,
time.
you don't.
I do.
No, I think we've got our own rhythm, and I don't ever feel like you cut me off.
Okay, good. You're making me feel better.
I mean, you don't. Seriously.
Just kidding.
Okay.
You want to answer some questions? You want to
Yeah,
talk
I
a
can
little more?
I can see the
You can
questions.
see?
Kind of. I'm still getting used to this. Except when they move quickly.
It's okay.
I'm so excited every time I see you guys together. Got the notifications finally.
I want to help. How do we send money? So, oh, that's so sweet, Jen. Thank you.
Wow.
You could super chat here right now, or we have Cash App, which is Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It's all spelled out A-N-D. Mr. and Mrs. Claus 213. C-L-A-U-S. Somebody wants to put that in the chat. It might be easier, but that's our Cash App. Anything else? Anyone? Any other way? I think that's what we've been
know.
using.
I don't know. I didn't understand what the super chat was
Now you see it?
until you explained it to me.
Yeah.
Then it made sense.
What's it like being outside for long periods of time? Do you mean outside, like outside out here?
I think that's what they mean,
It's got to
right?
be, right? Not Clausen. I'm sorry. Mr. MRANDMRSCLAUS. That's it.
Clothes, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Madeline just put it in the, yeah, like Santa.
Okay.
Madeline just put it in the chat. Okay. What's it like being outside for long periods of time?
I love it.
Of
I
course.
mean, definitely making it a point. We can come right out here, sit on the deck. As long as it's nice, we're gonna, plan on spending as much time outside as possible.
Oh, this is a good question. Are you done?
What is it?
Any idea why some inmates can't use core links because of past drug charges?
Because of past drug charges. Man, it's really hard to tell because email, listen, this is where people get confused. In the federal system, and I believe all your state systems, it's all the same. The only thing that is protected as far as speech is, First Amendment, you have the right to mail. That's the only thing that's been upheld. When you get into commissary, when you get into emails, phones, visits, none of those things are guaranteed. They're all strongly encouraged, and depending on where you are, you get some people involved that are going to push very hard to make sure that everyone has, access to those. But really, it's, BOP has wide discretion on how they use those things. I mean, it's amazing, right? It took a pandemic to up the calling limit, the number of minutes per month, from 300 to 500. And like, the system hasn't failed, nothing broke down, everything's still flowing smooth. And they're free calls, which means everybody's using as much time as possible every month. So why hasn't it always been like that?
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't need just 300 minutes.
Yeah.
So, same thing. I can't tell you what the specific reason is without, knowing what the background is, and who knows.
Jess, we'll call you after the video so you could tell. I saw that she gave more of an explanation in the comment, but it flew
Okay.
by. So because we have to call you anyway. Somebody asked, can you talk about being faithful on the inside? Because out here, majority of us are faithful, but then we hear a lot that, there's playing and there's using and there's fishing and all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So can you speak to that?
Okay. You mean broadly about guys looking for someone else on the outside or looking for relationships on the inside?
Why don't we talk about both? Because we've heard both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say on the inside, it's far less common. It, I mean, it depends where you are, but if they're big on one of the biggest things. It doesn't matter what system you're in, is about staff being compromised. It's always a top security concern. So they're pretty much on top of that. We were just talking about a situation earlier during lunch because someone reached out to us. To be honest, like, it was a situation where somebody compromised staff, and that individual was immediately walked out of there as soon as they got wind of it. He was locked up, she was out of the facility. And I think it's well known enough, few people are willing to put their jobs on the line. So if you think, if it's just suspected, like, hey, there's this officer and it looks like, he or she is really into my significant other, the odds of anything actually going on with that are pretty rare. It doesn't happen very often. However, on the outside, the other way around, and listen, I'm not making, any allowances for it, but the reality is a lot of guys feel like they don't have much connection with the outside, especially the longer they're in. Some guys will hold on to relationships simply to, fulfill that need, like that they have more people out there. And sometimes it might be, as much as we hate to admit it, that it's out of fear that our loved one is going to leave us, and it's about keeping somebody on the back burner. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just trying to explain what the mentality is, like where that comes from. A lot of guys are afraid to be alone. rightfully so. Like, you know, you get lifers like myself that talk about, man, you know, it's hard to be with someone. It's easier to be alone until you meet a certain someone that, you know that you shouldn't be alone. Uh, but that's where I was, and I think I talked about that the other day.
You did.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I was at a state where I was like, you know what? I had an unhealthy relationship. I'm finally on my own. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I'm good. I can just focus on me. I got too much time. I don't need a relationship. I had myself convinced that all that was true. And I've met plenty of guys, you know, with long sentences, getting the same mindset. And then you meet somebody that changes everything, you know? Uh, but along with that, you know, some guys go the other way, where they won't let go of whomever's willing to communicate with them. They're going to carry on a conversation, you know, keep that relationship going because they're afraid of ultimately ending up alone. It's a frightening proposition, you know.
Yeah.
Find yourself alone in prison. So that's generally where it comes from, you know.
Okay, so on the outside perspective of that, though, like, what do we look out for? What do we do if we feel like there are those red flags?
First and foremost, trust your intuition.
Yeah.
You know, if your intuition's telling you something, bring it up. You know, talk about it. Definitely don't just sit on it, allow it to, you know, eat away at you, nag at you, because it's gonna be toxic to your relationship.
Yeah.
That's a photo.
Do you want the dog to photobomb the video? Yeah, of course. Can I write back yes?
Yes. Yeah, we might have a special guest here
Need
in a
your
minute.
face. Oh.
Four-legged. Yeah, hit it. It'll. Oh, go ahead. You're already. Yeah, we might. Same one from the pool. Loves to play all day.
Okay.
Can you please talk louder?
That's so funny because it's so the opposite of what everyone's been saying. You've been talking so loud.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, not here.
I'm
I mean,
trying
like we were
not to be the loud and obnoxious
That's
guy.
what I'm talking about.
You know, I got yelled at in the restaurant the other day.
Y'all got a dog. It's not our dog. We're in quarantine.
Yeah, no, not ours.
But she's a sweet dog. Somebody wants to know what it feels like wearing regular clothes and specifically jeans.
Huh. I swore I wouldn't wear any skinny jeans. So, and since you haven't seen them on me, you don't know whether I wore them or not. But I'm just saying, Ro got me a pair of jeans that were a little bit more slim than I ever would have bought for myself. But listen, I put them on, I rocked them today when we went out, and don't tell anybody, but you know, I was all right with it.
I mean, have you seen your body?
Oh,
You have to
please.
wear that. Somebody even said, can we talk about the six-pack?
Well, I mean, listen, that's
Exactly.
it's good living, right?
Yeah.
That's what getting healthy, eating healthy, working out every day, look good, feel good, do good. It's
Yeah.
that simple. That's my mantra.
Yep.
When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. That's what I've been promoting for years. That's next thing with us doing the Fit Beautiful Life, promoting that. You know, it's all about sharing our lifestyle, what's
Yeah.
working for us. Like I said, I don't know if we're always gonna have, you know, the time that we have right now to prepare all of our meals. I mean, this is really the ideal. Quarantine is great, working from home. I know that at times things are gonna be more hectic, but that's where we keep each other in check. You know, making sure that we're staying balanced, we're continuing to eat right, getting plenty of sleep. You know, and it's tough when you're trying to do it on your own, but if you have someone, your partner's with you on that, I mean, that's all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It's important to be on the same page.
Yeah. Somebody asked if you've been able to communicate with my family yet. We actually have been trying to do a group video, like a Zoom, and we're trying to schedule that for tonight. One of my sisters is extremely busy. She's in sales. It's an extremely busy time of the month for her. So she said as of tonight, things will start calming down. So that's the plan. So the next question is, how did you...
I see
saw
that
it?
one in all caps.
How do you eat healthy on the inside?
Oh man, healthy on the inside. Learn to love mackerel. That's right, canned mackerel. Well, not canned, pouches, whatever, same thing. Mackerel, that's it. I literally ate mackerel every single day for probably the last 15 years. But the thing is, I found what I enjoy, uh, the healthy things that they had on the commissary, which were not many, but that's what I stuck to, you know. And I went out of my way to make sure that, uh, I had other people that helped me support that, kitchen guys, side hustles, bringing other stuff back, extra fruits, even though it's gotten more difficult towards the end. I used to be able to get stuff like eggs, a lot of chicken. Hey, there she is.
See, now I won't be the
There
only one
she
interrupting you.
is.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, easy.
What's it like? Hi,
Listen,
puppy kisses.
dogs are great.
What's it like though? What was it like touching a puppy for the first time in 20 years?
It's funny because,
You're famous. You're Insta famous, as they keep saying.
oh, there she goes. Hey. As soon as we got here, this is how we were greeted, which I was totally cool with, not having been able to have any contact with any animals for 20 years. Easy. Come on. For 20 years. And then all of a sudden, being surrounded with dogs, cats. I mean, it's been great. I missed it. She and I, Ro and I have talked about, getting some rescue animals. And it's always been part of the plan. And to come here and to, get a chance to be surrounded, by the animals. And man, it's been a great way to reintegrate. Like, these are the things that I really missed. I told you guys, like swimming, being underwater, like something you just really take for granted, really. Coming out here in the beautiful weather, spending time outside, petting a dog. I got a dog, right underneath me, man. It's just, it's all at once, like all these things. And some of them, that when you're on the inside, you don't even think about. And the longer you're in there, you just, you start to forget about those things. Before I left, we were talking about, because of the COVID and weather, like where we were in Pennsylvania, we go through a period where during the winter months, there are no visits. Like, it's too dangerous to try and drive up there. So, I hadn't seen Ro in 9, 10, close to a year. My parents, I hadn't seen them in a while. COVID had made it much more difficult for everything. And what I was expressing to somebody was those visits, the years that I spent at McKean, going out there so frequently with her, being able to see kids, children, just people, men and women, in normal conversations, just people on the outside move differently. To watch people interact with their family, like guys that I'm with, guys that I see on the yard, that, okay, now they're out there with their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, their kids. It's a different side of the personality that you don't always get to see, and I felt, incredibly fortunate to be able to go out there and share in that experience, even though it wasn't my individual experience. Seeing other people's gave me a view into life out here. And those are things, like, if you're inside for any period of time, it just, you start to forget, you become, your social responses are just different. You lose your interpersonal skills. It becomes more and more difficult to just openly communicate with people. And that's where you hear a lot of these challenges. When people get out, being overwhelmed, you go into a store and there's all these people around. Oh man, it's 5 o'clock already.
Time for dinner?
About time for dinner. They should be coming around with trays any minute. That's how they do it during COVID. I don't know how everybody else is doing it, but that's how they were doing it at McKean. So
We missed a 50.
leave.
Sorry.
What did we miss?
We missed a $50 super chat, so thank you to who sent that. I'm sorry I didn't see it. It moved so fast and I didn't want to interrupt. My shirt says believe in yourself. It's from Old Navy, but it's old, so you could try and see if it's still there.
I like it.
Thanks. Somebody was asking, oh, that's a good question. Somebody was asking for me if it's sunk in and the difference like in how I feel, like if I thought it would be real all these years ago when I started this channel. That's a really good question. No, I don't think it's sunk in at all yet. Genuinely. I mean, it's sinking in a little more as the days progress, but I keep telling you all the time, like, are you sure this is real? Is this real? As far as, you know, it's interesting. When I first started my channel all those years ago, I was like, that's it. He's coming home. He's coming home by the time I think at the time I was like, by the time I'm 35. And then it was by the time I'm 37. And it was like, whatever. And then as the years progressed, you kind of like fall into it. You kind of like, I don't know, settle in and set a pace, right? And then probably within the last like couple of years, because we had all of these extremes, highs and lows of something coming through the courts and then it didn't happen, or the clemency and then it didn't happen, and it was really crushing. And so probably the past year, even though we were closer than we'd ever been, there was always something in the back of my mind that was like, he's gonna get out, he's gonna get out, he's gonna get out. It was in the front of my mind, but in the back of my mind it was like, but it's possible that he won't. And I even had a subscriber who I blocked on here because they just started getting really rude. But it was like, I followed you all these years ago and you said, Adam will be home by Christmas. And then that didn't happen. And Adam will be home by my birthday. And then that didn't happen. And he's the one that's telling you that, like making him out to be a bad guy. And then I'll be back in 5 years to remind you. I'm coming back every 5 years until for the next 50 years to remind you that he told you that all those years ago. And it was like in the beginning when they first left those comments, I understood, and I saved them for you to see. And then after, it started to get like a little more and more and more aggressive. So obviously there was more behind that on their end, because who am I to you, a stranger on the internet, unless you're hiding behind a screen name, regardless. So all those years ago, I think I was like really in denial. And as we kind of settled in, I think, yeah, of course, in the back of my mind, there was always, this really could be it forever. And I always told myself, and I've told you guys this over and over again, but I had to reassess like every single day. Do I still want to be doing this? Do I want to be doing this in 5 years? How am I going to change? And so, yeah, it's just, even when we were down to them resentencing you, I was like, what if they resentence him with the 924Cs stacked as 5s? That would still be 95 years or something like that.
45 plus the underline 53. Yeah, it was still a life sentence.
Yeah. So yes, I always knew he was coming home, but of course in the back of my mind, I mean, on paper, definitively, it was 213 until it wasn't. You know? And I think let's talk about for a second, let's talk about the hope thing, where we would talk about like, I'll be home by Christmas, I'll be home by your birthday. And that wasn't, you know, that maybe this is something we should talk about in another video, but I didn't realize in the beginning, like I perceived that I would always ride the coattails of that. And sometimes, and I believed it verbatim.
Yep.
And sometimes that would kind of make me really depressed when it didn't happen. And then I realized, and I think I realized it on Christmas Eve one year, and I made a video about it, where I think that was just your hope. And you were so much better at, okay, didn't happen this time. Let's just like, take a left and readjust and reroute the GPS, and we'll go to a different location. And it took me going through that so many times to realize it was more your hope. And I was kind of getting like really stuck on that. And that's why everybody who's followed me for a while knows that I stopped talking about your legal stuff probably like, I don't know, a year ago, six months ago maybe, because I didn't want you to be perceived as the bad guy, because I knew you weren't. But how do I tell that
I get it.
You know, I look like an idiot.
Sure. Well, no, let me just add this. Like,
Yeah.
every time I told you something is because I believed
Right.
that it was going to happen.
Right.
And there were plenty of times when it should, when I was confident that we were going to get relief. And this is long ago, you know, that's why I say this is a long time coming. We believed it for really going back to clemency. When we did clemency in 2016, you know, we made it all the way to the White House, knowing that we had that support, that made it that much further to fall when it didn't work out. So having that experience, I mean, at that point you guys know, there are ups and downs. And once you've gone through it, you got to figure out how to pick yourself back up, reset your expectations and move forward. That's what it is. One of the things that we talk about, that you and I both try and teach other people, just with goal setting, any kind of goal that you have, is to break it down into manageable chunks. When it's too big to conceive how you're going to get it done, break it down into pieces. Well, this is what we're going to get done by this time, and then you can say by Christmas we're going to be in this situation. It's going to happen this year because we're doing these things, we're getting these things done. It gives you an action plan to where you're constantly doing something, moving forward. You're not just waiting around for things to happen. We've been doing things for years, contributing here. This was a part of it. Finding meaning within it, doing things that keep you in a positive state of mind, that hopefully inspire others to do the same. And ultimately, look, it worked out. It did, because we always believed that it would. And there are 2 beds at McKean over on Unit DB in cell 102 and 104, that if you look underneath the bottom bunk and look up at the top, it says believe. It's what I went to sleep with and woke up with every morning. Somebody's looking for you. Somebody's looking for you. I went to sleep and woke up with that message to myself every morning, every night, every morning. And, that reinforced that. That's what kept me in that state of mind. That's what I needed. That's what we needed. So you gotta find that within yourselves and in your own situation, however you can. And that's how we cope with these situations, because I know there's a lot of other people out there in crazy situations, life sentences. There's people on death row. I mean, I'm sure many of you have seen Just Mercy. People that spent decades on death row, waiting to die. I mean, it's incomprehensible, right? So you figure out where, how to find hope, how to keep moving forward. And if you're lucky enough to have someone, that believes in you as well, you hold on tight and you don't ever let go.
Okay. Everyone, I'm crying. Everyone's talking about how you're going to be here for Christmas for the first time. That's so exciting. They want to know.
I haven't thought that far. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's making me cry. They want to know why you keep your watch alarms on.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna take them off. Someone made a comment about me still wearing my prison watch, and it's very intentional. It is. It's a reminder. I told all them guys before I left, when I walk out the door, I don't walk away. My experience, the knowledge, skills, everything that I acquired over the last 20 plus years, there's a meaning for it. There's a purpose behind it. Listen, we're going to have a great life. Our life, includes our work to help others. That's what it's all about. So it's not walking away. I've already talked to a number of people just today about different opportunities to help out, to contribute. And I'm not forgetting about anybody.
They know. Somebody said Adam's birthday's in November, just a few months away.
Yes, it is.
I already have ideas.
Yeah, that's a big birthday.
Thank you, proud Army wife. Welcome home, and God bless you all. Thank you. There was something good that I wanted to ask you that I saw. Did we work out yet today? That was one.
Nope, headed there shortly. That's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're at
34.
Okay. Yeah, as you can see, even with the context, my eyes are still adjusting. I can't catch everything. I'm getting better. What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Good question. I don't know. November is going to be a great month. I don't know. Don't know what's for dinner yet. We got a fridge full of food. I get to choose. How cool is that? Oh, what's that? What's that?
Uh,
Yeah.
are there any specific people that you miss from inside?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I'm not gonna put anybody's names out there just for the simple fact of I got to protect those guys' privacy, and as you guys know, not everybody's happy. Not everybody's going to be supportive of one another. Uh, so yeah, I leave that up to them. When individuals tell me I can speak about them, I speak about them in particular, but I'd rather not put their names out.
What do you think of technology?
I will be over the frustrating part as soon as I get this phone set up. It seems like every 2 minutes, like I hit a roadblock, I got to install. Remember, I'm starting from scratch. I have no apps. I have to, anytime, I have accounts that she's managed for me for years. My Google account, a LinkedIn account, things that I still haven't even seen. I haven't even like physically seen them yet because we've spent a good portion of today just trying to get me signed into everything, trying to remember passwords, and I don't know how she's done it, honestly, you know. And I can't imagine trying to do this on my own. It'd be a nightmare. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
I feel bad because I'm trying to learn the iPhone with him.
Please.
Everybody, there's so many people, this is so sweet. They're all concerned about your discs in your back.
Oh, how do they know about that?
Somebody must have told them.
Somebody told them about that.
Thank you, Melissa, for the super chat. Congratulations, you two deserve the absolute best. I'm beyond happy for you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I have 2 herniated discs that have been that way for almost 2 years now. And I didn't get a single treatment while I was in. You know, it's unfortunate, you learn how to live with things like that. But to be honest, I mean, it's not just a disc. I learned early on, if you're in prison, you better learn how to take care of yourself to the best of your ability. And that's why health, fitness, everything became a priority. I can deal with the little things.
Wow, how's your ACL? They know a lot about you.
Damn.
Just, Adam's
Adam's
got a lot of videos to catch up on.
I'm still missing an ACL as well. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I don't want to dwell on the BOP right now. We can address those issues at a later time.
Yeah. Can I address something? Are you done?
Yeah.
Somebody said that Adam's so polished and that's attributed to me. That's not attributed to me whatsoever. That's 100%
definitely.
you.
It's definitely you.
No, you were polished when I mean.
No, I wasn't. No, let me be honest about this.
Okay. Well, this is
One,
news to me too then. Go ahead.
I learn so much from you all the time. But for me, it's part of, this has been an experience. Like, I am a pure introvert by nature. I'm happy to be in a quiet place, not around a lot of people. So for me, being in prison was always a challenge, being around a lot of people. And then doing what I did as far as facilitating, whether it was with fitness classes or in the classroom, spending a lot of time in the classroom engaging people, I had to learn how to develop an approach, a delivery, a specific skill set within facilitation. We designed our own system and programs to support that, to support one another. And for me, that was probably the most challenging thing. I had a fear of public speaking that was literally paralyzing. First time that I spoke was in front of a college class, inside out program that came into the prison. And, the professor gave me an opportunity to get up there and speak and do a presentation. I got maybe 3 words, and this is not an exaggeration, 3 words out of my mouth, and I'm looking around, and I look for my buddy, I'm like, water. My mouth is bone dry. Well, this professor, I can put his name out there, Dr. Tony Gaskew, criminal justice professor. Great man. I owe him, I'm deeply indebted to him. He taught me things I didn't even know that I needed to learn, and gave me so many opportunities. And this was definitely an enlightening experience, because I realized I wanted to do this as soon as he asked me, and I clearly didn't have the skills to do it. So I had to get over that fear. And how do you get over a fear, right? Just repeatedly expose yourself to it. So I gave a presentation at admissions and orientation every 2 weeks. And I did that for years. I continued to do it because I felt like it was part of my purpose. You know, as guys would get to the facility, I'd talk to them, I'd let them know what we were doing, let them know that we were there to help them. And it helped me. I mean, that was my greatest experience with public speaking, because I got up in front of a hostile crowd every 2 weeks. And for the first couple years, literally couple years, I lived week to week. You know, I'd be greatly relieved to be done with A&O. And as soon as I was done, I was like, oh, I got to do it again in 2 weeks. Oh my God, how am I going to do it? But it allowed me to refine my story. That's how I figured out the power of the sentence that I had. You know, using my 213 years to connect with guys, to grab their attention. You know, it was just everything. So yeah, polished, I mean, it's been a lot of practice. And even, you know, this, I mean, it's work for me to be around a lot of people even now. Like when I'm done, like if I'm around a group, I'm like, you know what, I need some time. I'm just gonna disappear for a minute. And in prison, I used to, you know, spend a lot of time in my cell, decompressing, getting my energy back, you know, and I was grateful to even learn that that's, you know, that's what I needed to operate best. So thankfully now I got you looking out for me, and, you know, she's constantly checking in like, you all right? You had enough yet? Hopefully I'm helping keep her balanced too.
Of course. Yeah. And are you done?
Yep.
I have to add this too, because while I do agree with what you're saying, I think you need to give yourself more credit, where by the time that we got back in touch, you were already polished. You never spoke prison lingo to me. I don't think you've ever to this day cursed in front of me. You've never spoken down or in a derogatory manner to me ever. And I've pushed, but hello, I'm a girl and I have hormones, okay? I can get cranky, I can get moody, I can push them.
Hangry.
And hangry for sure.
Hangry.
Overtired, all the things, you guys know. And there'll be times where were times in the past where I would push because I wanted to get a reaction, because you know how girls are, and he would never engage in that ever. So to me, that's the definition of polished. So I can't take credit for that, because that had to have taken a lot of work and a lot of self control to be able to go against the grain inside. He's told me before, and you could speak to this if you want, but even if there was a man next to him on the phone with his wife and he was calling her the B word, he would say something to that person, because you don't call a woman that. Like that's how respectful and polished you are, and I can't take credit for that.
That was all very intentional. You know, I think I mentioned this previously. Like, I made a decision early on that I was not going to allow prison nor the prison culture to define who I was. And when I looked around and I saw guys that had done a lot of time, like there were plenty of things that I saw that I didn't like, that I did not want to be. I didn't want to become a stereotypical, you know, prison guy, some, you know, caricature of, you know, what prison is all about. So I worked to improve my language, which was not always polished by any means. And Siri caught me the other day, but we won't talk about that. No, it was funny. There was a guy, because things have changed so much. And as I said, you know, last month or so has been really kind of stressful, and whether I was getting out and what you were going through in advance of that. And we're coming down the walkway, coming out of the unit, and I was frustrated. And I said something, I cursed. and I don't even remember what I said, but there was a guy, he was like, whoa. He goes, that's the first time I ever heard you curse, man. And it caught me by surprise, like, oh, man, like, I mean, what caused that? It was a wake up to me, like, where are you at? What changed? Because I don't want to change. Like, I'm very intentional on the language that I use. I never wanted to, you know, to adopt all that. Honestly, and I don't know, you guys let me know, what do you think about this? She and I talked about it, and I wanted to do this within like the first couple days. We're still within the first week, so it's well within reason. But I'd like to interview someone, just a random person on the street. Got the new iPhones, just walk up to them and go, hey, can you mind? Got a couple questions for you. You mind helping us out? Now, it's a little bit different with the COVID. Everybody's got masks on, and, I don't know where this would be. Like at the doctor's office today, it's not like, I can just go out and about anywhere. But the next opportunity that I get to go out for something, I was thinking I'd like to interview someone and see if at the end of that interview, see what they think. Hey, imagine if you ran into a guy who had just done 20 years in prison, had gotten out, was never supposed to get out, life sentence. How would you feel having a guy like that back in the community? What if he moved in next door to you? Like, how would that make you feel? Would you be concerned? Would you want your kids around him? Would you want, your daughter dating him? And try and get a reaction, see where he's at, and then let him know, like, well, I just did 20 plus years, and I'm here, I'm back. I hope, you won't hold that against me. Because I know, I realize that I am polished at this point. I've worked very hard to get this way, to make sure that it doesn't show. I don't want it to show. It's not just that I don't want it to show, it's that I want people to see what every single person inside is capable of, what they're capable of becoming, what they're capable of achieving. Like, this is what people need to know about us. We don't fit the stereotypes. It's only the people that want to use that against us that are going to rely on that image. So I feel like I have a responsibility to promote something different, and there's plenty of other guys. There's plenty of other people who are successful. My attorney, Sean, we always talk about him. I mean, he's a great example. And so is John Potter. I mean, we have tons of great examples of successful individuals, but they've been out some time. I'd like to try and, get somebody's perspective on me being out less than a week. See what their thoughts are. So.
Well, everybody's into it. Everybody's saying it's a good idea. Everybody wants to see it. A few
Let's do
people
it.
said, let's do it. A few people said that they won't believe that you are. And then I don't know if it's the same person or a few people.
I'll bring my prison ID.
Yes, proof. I love it.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the same person or a few people want to know if you're American, which is interesting.
If I'm American, what do you mean?
They just want to know if you're American.
Like, what's my nationality?
I guess. I don't know.
American,
I just keep seeing the
Italian.
same. But you were born in America.
I was definitely born in America. Honestly, I'm not even sure what all of my ethnic background is on both family sides. I remember when I was a kid, probably grade school, where they send you home with like a poster board, and they're like, well, go ahead and draw the countries on the poster board and put a piece of clay or Play-Doh or something on it and stick the flag for that country in there. And I remember going back, and I had quite a few things on there, and I don't remember what they were. I know my father is German, but I don't know. Off the top of my head, I have no idea. And it's never really meant anything to me. Don't know.
So Josh sent a super chat, thank you, and he asked, and also he asked last night, and Melinda was so sweet, she texted me because she promised him she would tell me. He wants to know if you would autograph something if he sent it to us.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was supposed
Really?
to, I told Melinda I would Facebook message him last night and say, of course, but the phones have been going nonstop. People have been trying to contact
Listen,
Adam, and totally understandable. So Josh, I'm sorry that I didn't get back in touch with you, but absolutely.
I would be flattered. Anybody that wants my autograph, I would be flattered. Seriously.
Okay, but we said we were going to do 20 minutes, and we're at 50.
Oh man.
Yeah, it just, time flies when you're on these.
And we got to work out.
And we got to work out. So,
Yep.
can we send y'all art? We would love art. You guys are the
Yeah.
sweetest. I'm Italian. Whenever
Oh,
you
this
guys can
moving so
travel,
quick.
Italy waits.
Italy.
It's I'm 100% Italian. I was born in America, but my parents are both from Italy, and top of the bucket list.
As soon as I get off supervised release, we definitely need to do some traveling. I've never been outside of the country, so being in prison, seeing for the first time, really exploring other parts of the world, whether seeing it on TV, Nat Geo or anything else, and different magazines, books that I've read. I really, I want to get out and see the world and experience that with you. And I think Italy is a great place to start.
Yeah. So we missed 2 super chats. One was thank you for being an inspirational couple to people, like life after prison.
Yep.
And the second one was awesome. It was Robin, and she said, "Can you guys be my life coach for real, for real?" Of course.
That's definitely that's our focus. That's what we're looking to do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time to sign off. As much as this
Definitely.
is so fun, and we'll do it again, hopefully in the spot, because this is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
We will be back tomorrow. I hope that Adam uses his wisdom, voice, mentor, speak to the youth today. It's much needed, of course. Of course, we have so many plans.
That's it.
Yep. All right. We
We'll
love you
share some
guys.
more tomorrow.
We'll share more tomorrow. Thank you so much for
Love you
your
guys.
kind thoughts and your generosity.